You got a pulse?
Growing up on the water with fishing in their blood, Matt Arey and Bryan Thrift have spent the last 10 years competing against the biggest names in professional bass fishing. Their success has landed them ranked among the top anglers in the world. If you're looking to become a better angler, then this show has all the answers. Join us and follow along to get actionable tips, tactics, and tried and true techniques directly from the pros. Welcome to Let's Talk Fish.
Are we back, Jeff?
We're live.
We're live. And we got new mic stands.
And
we do have new mic stands.
If the sound is not great, I'm going to fix it. So just give me a minute.
What do we sound like, guys?
Yeah, y'all let us know.
I'm going to go listen. You're good. I'm going to leave y'all with it. We got a special
Well, you
guest.
can't adjust the sound unless you come back in here.
I'm not saying I can't come back in here at all after I leave.
You need like
This is
some
gonna be a
remote
good
stuff
one.
like our
It's gonna
power
be a
poles
good
have
one.
got, you know, where you can like put it around your
Put it-
neck.
yeah.
And then you can go inside or we'll do whatever you need to do.
I'm just going to be right there, so I can walk another 10 feet
Okay.
and fix it if I need to.
Good
We
enough.
got a special guest that is a lot better looking than me, so I'm going to turn it
That
over
ain't
to
saying
you
much.
guys, and y'all have fun. And
They're going to think it's some swimsuit model or something now that you said that.
It takes a swimsuit model to look better than me.
You got
I
me.
appreciate
You got me, Walsh.
Don't grab the line this time.
Don't grab the line. That's his fishing tip. He said don't grab the line. So, yeah, that's I think I told that on the last episode. But anyway,
I think so.
let's introduce our guest. And guys, I'm a little disappointed in y'all. We not the ones that are watching the show right now, but we haven't even broke 100 viewers yet. And if you look and take a peek at what's sitting in front of me right this minute, it is I mean, how much we got here? Like
$150.
over $150 in our giveaway tonight and I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Todd Goad. Mr. Todd Goad is our special guest tonight.
Todd.
And I want to give you the honors of announcing the new partnership that LTF has, who it's with, and tell them about the giveaway, tell them about the significance of the giveaway, and we're going to jump right into, basically how much money this has won for all the guys at this table over the last few years, including yourself. But yeah, let's turn it over to Mr. Todd Goad, and thanks for being here tonight, Todd.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt.
And let's pull that over here. Sorry, I'm trying to get your mic closer. Jeff's got all kinds of computers and laptops and sound machines and who knows else what.
Who knows what else?
But yeah, absolutely, man. I'm glad to have you on the show. But tell them what tonight's all about.
Yeah, it's we're announcing a partnership with Let's Talk Fish, the Pulse Fish Lures, the home of the Pulse Jig, that scrounger type bait. So we've entered into a partnership with the Let's Talk Fish brand for the next year to be an associate sponsor. So we're excited about the partnership. Core values mean a lot. And you two guys have got a amazing brand out there in the bass fishing world and reputable and just good guys. And
Well, thank you.
kind of
Todd.
do what you
Appreciate
say you're going to do. Do what you say you're going to do, kind of guys. Which I'm kind of was raised that way. So, it's a great partnership. I think it'll be a great platform to market our baits, and we've kind of resurrected a brand here with with this Pulse Jig over the last.
Have we got one
10
out of the
months.
pack we could?
I got you.
He got us.
I got you. Well, I've got the mini version. You
Yeah.
think that'll be visible enough? Well, we can walk it around there to camera. That's what Brian does.
Yeah.
He's our
Yeah,
bait model.
Hand me this one here with the bait on it.
There you go.
That
one-
looks like
Okay,
it's
you already
actually
one
got
rigged
a Demiki armor shell.
That
on
one's
it.
right up your
You know what that is? You actually know what that is?
I actually know what that is.
I did that just for you, Brian.
Thank you.
So,
So which camera are we on?
Jeff, we're on the center camera. That is
That is the Pulse Jig.
the Pulse Jig. How's it? There it is. I can see it now. A little bit closer to the see the little round thing on that iPad. That would be the camera, Brian. There you go. Boy.
A little different than what people are probably used to with the scrounger style head. The plastic collar is actually back on the head and held in place, so it's not going to move on you. But that's it.
Yeah, that's one of the key features of our bait is the way we build these baits. It's proprietary, and with it being back there on the collar like that, you can reel this bait about as fast as you can reel it, and it won't roll on you. That's
it stays true.
It stays true.
And that's a big deal, because the retrieve on these style baits. And, years ago I was using the scrounger until I discovered the pulse jig. And I like the realism of the pulse jig, too. Y'all put a lot of detail in the head.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that it has a light wire hook. I like the fact that it comes in 5 sizes, which we'll talk more about in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But the retrieve is a big deal, because when you're fishing this thing, whether it's for those fickle schooling fish or you're rolling it out there on a deep ledge somewhere trying to catch a big one, sometimes you just got to slow roll it, sometimes you got to speed it up, sometimes you got to burn it, sometimes it's just a slow, steady retrieve.
Yep.
And for it to stay true and to run true, regardless of the speed of the retrieve, is a big deal with a bait like this.
Absolutely. And it's, this bait got a lot of attention a few years ago when Lambert smashed them on Kentucky Lake, with a jerky jay and a big scrounger type bait. And, this bait, one of the big messages I wanted to get across tonight is this bait isn't just a summertime bait. It's good all year round. It catches them year round, and it's something you need in your toolbox. It's Matt and I were talking earlier. Usually the folks that do well in an event are usually doing a little something different, and a lot of times this bait can be that something different that gets you over the hump, get you to make the cut and get in the check line.
100%.
Especially this time of year with that smaller type shad trailer on it, like this is the little Armor shad.
And
but
that's the
from
8th
fall,
that's the 8th ounce
yeah, that's
model.
the 8th ounce model there. But from fall through winter, when fish get out suspended on bait, I mean that's a huge player right there.
Absolutely.
One big thing about y'all's company that I love and is everything is 100% made in the USA, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Every piece of it.
And unfortunately, in our industry nowadays, and Brian and I both work with a lot of companies, and we have a lot of stuff made overseas. But it's hard to find a company that can, number one, has the capability to make everything in the USA, and then to be able to use that as a selling point. But that's a big deal. That's a big deal, especially to the outdoorsmen of the U.S. I mean, that's a big deal. But I've already seen a couple people comment tonight about
letting all the secrets
letting all the secrets out. And Todd said, a buddy of his said, "Man, I can't believe you're going to talk about the pulse jig tonight." This is, to me, and I think when I put the topic on our Facebook page earlier today, this is something that flies under the radar. Yes, Lambert blew away a tournament or two on some of the ledge lakes with the big 1 ounce scrounger heads and stuff like that. But you hit the nail on the head, and let's dive more into that about. People don't realize that this is it's like a jerk bait. People don't realize that it's a 12 months out of the year you can use this bait. You have to adapt to the conditions and the situation. But let's talk about, since it's late summer, early fall, and Brian kind of touched on it just a second ago, but how big of a player, and here's the funny part. This goes back to several cups that I fished. Brian probably, I know Brian was fishing them, but Brian probably had this in his arsenal. Back at the Wheeler Lake Cup when John Cox won, dealing with those fickle late summer, early fall schooling fish. They're eating those little bitty thread fins, and we've talked about using crappy jigs and tail spinners and things like that. But one thing we haven't talked about is this style head and how deadly it can be this time of year for schooling fish. But you want to talk about that a little bit and kind of let's walk through. I know we got a setup that Brian just showed on the camera to everybody. If you missed that, that's the 8th ounce version. Couple different baits you like to use on it, and we talked about setup, rod and reel setups and line size, because that's important when you're throwing these little bitty lightweight baits.
Absolutely. And for the 8th ounce, and to your point, it works really great in the fall when fish are schooling on that smaller bait. But one of the keys with the 8th ounce is to use a spinning reel that has a 5:3 to 1 gear ratio. I know there's a lot of reel manufacturers out there now that make them that run 100 mile an hour.
Yeah, they're faster. Yep, they're faster.
But with this bait, you want to keep on a spinning reel that 5:3 to 1 gear ratio. And I like to use 10-pound braid and tie a leader to it, an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. And you can throw that bait a long way. That braid comes off the spinning reel and allows you to throw this 8th ounce a long way, even at schooling fish, or if you're fishing something offshore or fish are chasing up on the bank, you can make long casts with it, surprisingly, being just an 8th ounce bait. So makes a huge difference.
But even though that, I mean, some people prefer the spinning rod, but that 8th ounce bait with the shad body on there, it's big enough you could get away with it on a bait caster as well, for people that like using a bait caster. And I'm one of those guys. Like, I throw small swim baits, the little 3-inch armor shad on a bait caster all the time with 1/8 ounce heads, and you got to pair it with the right rod and reel to throw those lighter baits on a bait caster. Get you a good reel like Abu Garcia MGX, something that's got a shallow spool that's designed for light line. I throw it on straight 8-pound line on a bait caster with a 7-foot medium heavy Fitzgerald rod, and you can get away with a bait caster, not have any issues with it if you prefer that. So,
Yep.
I mean, this is a small bait and a small package, but you can still throw it a long ways on that bait caster just as well.
Well, and to your point, Brian, to give Fitzgerald another plug, I throw it on your 6.9 skipping special.
Yeah.
That's the lightest rod, and you can throw this bait a long way with it with 8-pound line.
So you use a 6.9 for throwing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I've always liked a longer rod, and I'm like you. I prefer a spinning setup for the small stuff. I throw a lot of single swim baits and stuff like Brian was talking about on 8 or 10-pound line on a bait caster, like a 7-foot medium, something
Right.
like he was talking about. But I use a 7.2 Lew's Custom Pro spinning rod. It's a medium action rod, and I actually like to throw those little baits like that. I'll throw it on straight 6 or 8-pound Floriclear, P-line Floriclear, and we talked about that earlier. And the castability of that stuff's amazing.
Yes.
And that medium rod, and Brian and I talked about this on the show. You and I talked about it earlier. The biggest thing is when you pair it up with these small baits, these little swim baits, and these little pulse jigs and things like that. Is if you're going to the braid fluoro, it's okay to have a little bit more limber rod. If you're using the Floriclear, it's okay to have a little bit more stiffer rod because certain lines have a little bit more stretch.
Right.
But talk about the hook set, because that's important to me too on these deals right here, especially when you're dealing with the 1/8 ounce version and it's got that little light wire hook in it. It ain't like you got to He-Man them.
No.
So, but talk about that.
Well, and that's a good point, because a lot of times the fish will strike at the bait, but they won't hit it, and you just got to keep reeling it, and you'll feel them like tick, 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 and then they'll finally load the rod up. And you just want to keep reeling it till the rod loads up, and then you just lean back on them. So, and that goes with all the sizes. I mean, my favorite all around
You
to
fixed it,
throw
man. Good job.
is a 3/8.
Go through the 5 sizes. So Pulse Fish offers 5 sizes in the Pulse Jig. I believe you're giving away all 5 sizes tonight. Yeah, guys, be sure. Well, they may not want to when I tell them, but be sure to share the show. We've got a huge giveaway, compliments of Pulse Fish tonight. Shirt, hat, all the different sizes of baits. Even got some of the goodies that go on the business end, of the Pulse Jig. One of my favorite colors right now. That's not. I didn't even pick it. I mean, they're all good colors.
Yeah.
But that little color right there, it's like a green albino,
Yep.
kind of like an Arkansas
Yeah,
shiner.
almost like a Tennessee shad.
Yeah,
type
it's a
color,
beautiful color. And then, interesting story about that. Go through the sizes again, then we'll jump back into the
Yeah, I
baits.
mean, we make them we make an 1/8, a quarter, a 3/8, a 5/8, and a 1 ounce. I don't have any 1 ounce here today, but we do have the 1/8, quarter, 3/8, and 5/8.
You've got it. You got it all covered.
We've got every depth range covered. And we have them in a 2-pack with bait, 2-pack without bait, 1-pack with bait, 1-pack without bait. So a lot of different ways to get those. Our plastics that come with it work really well on those baits, but they also work well on a bladed jig as a trailer. They work good. I mean, you just came from St. Clair. They work good nose hook and on a drop shot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to use our plastics too. But
So is the biggest thing you want to take away with that when you're pairing a bait to the Pulse Jig is you want to keep that slender profile? Is that right, Tom?
Well,
Yeah.
so while y'all are
Right.
on that subject, I saw a question earlier. Let's see. That's funny. When we were checking the sound earlier, they said, "Yeah, sounds like a bunch of rednecks or hillbillies to me." So
while
everything's
Matt's
good.
going through this, looking for this
Let
question,
me find this question here. Go
well, I'm
ahead.
going to talk about something else because this might take Matt a while.
No, it won't take me
All
long.
right,
But
I'm just going to say it here.
okay. Here
Nobody
it is.
say nothing.
It's from David Hall. I wanted to address this because of the topic y'all were on. So, is this best used with a straight tail or a boot tail style bait?
I did see that
or a
question.
paddle tail style bait, and why? And when would you make the adjustment?
So I like early in the spring, I like to throw one with a boot tail on it, get a little bit more kicking action. The water's a little bit cooler. I tend to catch more fish on that setup early in the year. In the summertime, spring, summer, I like to use our baits or even a Zoom Original Fluke, that kind of thing, or a
So
Demiki.
it's kind of about the retrieve speed.
It is, yeah.
Right.
And one of the great ways to fish this is over offshore brush piles or standing timber. And like I said, I like to use the 3/8 is my favorite. I like them all, but summertime offshore brush pile fishing, I like to use a 3/8 model. And I've got and this is, I've had buddies already tell me today that I'm giving the goods away, but usually when you're fishing offshore brush, this bait will work on either a 5 count, a 7 count, or a 10 count before you start reeling it. And I like to use 10-pound line with that, and I also use a 7.3. It's a Fitzgerald all-purpose medium heavy rod. It's a great all-around rod for that, but I also throw it on a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, because you want that bait, like if you're fishing offshore for spotted bass, you want that bait to come across that brush and get them to react to it. So usually a 5, a 7, or a 10 count works. One of those three is going to work really well fishing in that kind of application. This 1/8 ounce one, this thing works great.
And when you say a 5, 7, or 10 count, explain to them exactly what you're talking
about. It's like 5 seconds or 7 seconds. I throw it out there.
Counting your bait down.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Before you start your retrieve,
yeah.
That's in Todd's experience with that 3/8 ounce. That's the most effective countdown.
Yep.
And that's dependent on how tall and how deep the structure you're fishing.
But that's on average what? You're probably fishing at 15 to 20 foot deep.
Usually I'll be fishing brush in 25, somewhere in there like that. So you count it down to 5, 7, or 10, and just depending on
you're trying to get it down there just on top of it, though.
Yeah.
Where it tops out in 25, or where it actually it's in 25.
It's in 25.
So it tops out in 10
15,
or 15.
yeah.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
So we're saying that thing probably sinks a foot a second, roughly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
With your bait on it.
Yep.
And one thing also, when you're talking about fishing this bait over brush piles or suspended fish like that, if you use straight fluorocarbon, you will be a lot more efficient with keeping the bait in the strike zone versus using braid with a leader. Because when you got that braid with your leader, your braid's going to come through the water and arch down to your bait. With the fluorocarbon, it's going to sink and give you more of a direct line to your bait. So as you're winding that bait, once you count it down, it's going to make it move more horizontally through the water when you're winding it versus coming to the surface when you're winding it if you're using braid with a leader.
That's why we hadn't fired him yet. He is good for something every once in a while.
He's pretty good with that analytical stuff.
I've already seen several questions on where can they purchase
And if
these.
Matt will pay attention tonight, maybe he'll quit getting hung on a swim bait in every brush pile at Moss Lake.
I've left my fair share out there. But so that I've had several people already comment on where they can get them. I know I saw Joel and Dana Crawford, thank you earlier. They posted the link. I've already seen a bunch of people saying, man, those things work.
Yep.
And then I've seen some people get mad at us because we're letting the cat out of the bag tonight. But I tell you what, Jeff, you're not busy right now, are you?
No.
Would you go to our Facebook page and post the link and the code that we're going to announce? Because I've had several comments about where can they purchase them, and we've got a special code to give everybody a discount that's going to run through the end of the month of September. It's going to give you 20% off, right? Mm-hmm. 20% off your purchase. Compliments of Todd and the crew at Pulse Fish. But Jeff will make a post on our Facebook page, and we can pin it at the top, or whatever your little magic deal is, Jeff. I don't know how to work Facebook, but you can put it up there where it stays up there, and at least through the month of September. And you'll be able to click on the link direct, and then the code is
LTF20.
LTF. I want to make sure I got that right. Is it cap? It's gotta be, is it cap sensitive?
It's not. No.
Okay, so LTF20, Jeff. You got that? You want to put that on our page?
Yeah.
That'd probably be a good idea, don't you think? Okay, yeah. So Jeff's going to put that on our Facebook page with a direct link to their website and the code for your 20% off. It'll be LTF20, so that's easy to remember. But that way, you guys and gals will have a direct link to purchase. Yes. I'm thinking pulse. To purchase your pulse jigs direct from the website and get you a good discount too while you're doing it.
One thing I want to add about this bait, I know a lot of people, they see something like this, and the first thing they picture is what we just talked about, catching fish over brush piles suspended at the top of the brush. But that's not the only place fish suspend. And you catch them a lot crawling this bait on the bottom, especially early in the springtime. Mm-hmm. And our neck of the woods, January, February, March, you let it go to the bottom and crawl it slow over top of a little bit off the bottom. But when you're talking about suspended fish, don't just think brush piles. Think bridge pilings. Think danger buoys, something like that off of the tip of a point where the fish don't really have a vertical structure to set on, but they'll just suspend over the top of that point, maybe where that point runs out into 20 to 30 feet, and they use that as an ambush point for schooling, especially this time of year in the fall, and those fish will suspend 10 or 15 feet deep right off the tip of that point, and you can catch those fish on this pulse jig. Great.
LTF 20 is correct, John. I saw that question. And while we're on different ways to catch them on the pulse jig, which we could probably talk about that for days,
Yep.
you told me something that I'd never even tried or knew. I don't know if you even want to talk about it, but you talked about.
I may not have even heard this story.
You probably have never done this, believe it or not. So he was taking it. Can I tell him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because he was trying to sell pulse jigs here,
Exactly.
so we can tell him.
We're giving the goods tonight.
Todd got on a deal. We won't even say the lake; it doesn't really matter. But they
Hand me the bait again. We got a request for another close up.
Oh yeah, another close up. Well,
So
hey,
while
let's,
Matt's explaining this,
we don't have any bigger ones where we can show in the camera, do we?
We can take one of them out of
Yeah,
the
we
pack.
can take one out of the pack because we're going to ship them all in a box anyway.
Yep.
all right, yeah,
Let's,
rig one up, and we'll do a size comparison for the 1/8 ounce versus
Here you go.
Yeah.
Make
the
yourself-
3/8.
That's our new color, White River Special.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that too. But what Todd told me I found very interesting. We've all seen these fish, and this time of year is one of the main times of year we've seen it happen. They get in what we call wolf packs. They start cruising the bank.
Mm-hmm.
They can be really, really aggressive, or they can be kind of a pain in the to try to catch.
Mm-hmm.
We've caught them on shaky heads. We've caught them on wacky worms. We've caught them on all different varieties of topwaters. I've caught them on my fetch swim bait with Lunker Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I have never done that Todd has done and had success doing is he's taken that 1/8 ounce pulse jig with, was it your bait on it or
A Demiki, Armor Shad.
a little Demiki Armor Shad, and has actually caught those shallow water cruisers on an 1/8 ounce pulse jig.
I
And
bet
that's
that is good.
and that's something I've never tried. I bet you've never thrown an 1/8 ounce pulse jig on,
I
a,
have
shallow,
not.
on a shallow wolf pack, have you?
I have not.
Yeah,
but I bet I will.
That goes back to what we talk about all the time on this show, and it's always keeping an open mind and never questioning if something is. It's like the Alabama rig. Okay?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you look at it and you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then Paul Elias goes out there and wipes the floor with everybody in the tournament, and then they sell 10 billion of them. But
Yeah.
Hey, I even got it rigged on there pretty straight.
you got it rigged on there pretty straight.
good.
So Brian's got a couple. Actually, you can show both of them and show a couple of the sizes. But that color
Yeah.
that Brian is getting ready to show, I'll let Todd talk about.
River Special.
White River Special.
Yeah, it's cool how we come up with that name. My partner Jeremy and I were working on a new color, and
Hold that, see if everybody can see. That's the 1/8 ounce, the 3/8 ounce,
There you go.
the Mickey Armor Shad on the little one, the White River Special color on the 3/8.
Yeah.
Size comparison.
And Todd's
That's
going to
cool.
tell you how they came up with that color because I think it's almost like a purple hologram type
Yeah.
deal. It's got
That's a good looking.
kind of lavender shadish, kind of
Yep,
something like
yep.
that.
That's right.
Kind of almost like a morning donny look to it.
It does, yeah. And we were coming up with this, and I was messing around with some colors, and Marcus Sikora is a real good friend of mine out in Missouri, and I sent him a picture of it, and we talked about it, and he said, why don't you call it White River Special? Because purple, Table Rock Shad's really good on those White River lakes, Table Rock
Yep.
and Beaver and Norfolk Bull Shoals. So, he gets credit for naming the bait. So thank you, Marcus.
well, I like the fact that you got outside of that Table Rock Shad
Yeah.
because everybody's got that color, and,
Yes.
and you've got something
Yep.
similar, but you went a different route with the name, and that's pretty cool. White River Special.
Absolutely.
All right, so talk about the hook, and I've had a couple questions about the hook, the sizes with each head, and what brand hooks y'all use.
Yeah, we use a Mustad hook, light wire hook, and on the back of the header card on the pulse bait, the jig, it actually shows the size,
The size for each size head.
Yeah, and the hook that's in it too.
Here, let's show people.
So
that.
you can
I
show a
got it
picture,
right here.
You
show a
wanna
picture
the
of that
packaging?
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brian truly is our bait model tonight. Bait model, packaging model.
I should be a fan of all.
In
there
our
you go.
in our giveaway,
Vanna Thrift.
we've got everything. They've been kind enough to donate hat, shirt, decals, all the baits that you'll need to get started fishing the pulse jig. I've already noticed, and it's been
There's 6 different colors, 6 different sizes.
of the baits, 5
Yeah.
different
5
sizes,
sizes and 6 colors.
6 colors, 5 sizes.
Well, my card says there's 6 sizes.
Or it's 6.
Let me see here.
1,
8,
2.
3/16, quarter, 3/8, 5/8, 1 ounce. Well, that's what you
Yeah.
said earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe we
6.
just can't count.
It's 6 and 6.
You and LaHue all should never fish a team tournament together. You know that?
Yeah.
Because LaHue can't count to 6 either.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
From
LaHue.
experience. Sorry.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
He deserves
He deserves
it.
it.
Anybody that does that deserves it.
Yes, of course.
Chris Blevins is watching. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
Yeah, Ryan Shario said I might need to add that to my shallow water game. Absolutely. Oh, I'm going to be adding it to my shallow water
Oh,
game.
here's a good question from Whit Blanton. Something I hadn't thought of.
We talked about that.
Loop knot versus cinch it up.
Yep. So tell them exactly what we talked about before we came over here tonight.
We did. There's ways to tie this bait that give it a different action too. You can tie it straight to the bait just with a regular. I use a Palomar knot, but you can and that gives it more of the shimmying kind of action to the bait. But
Kind of a tight shimmy.
tight shimmy.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can put a snap on it, or you can tie a loop knot, and you get more of a side to side wobble kind of deal. So it really works. The bait performs a little different tying it straight to it or using a snap and a loop knot.
So add
That's
something to
pretty
it.
cool.
Add something to it, or tie a loop knot directly to the eye if you want more wobble. If you want something that's a lot tighter and more of a shimmy, go
Like a blueback herring.
like a blueback herring. Yep, tied directly to the eye there with a normal Palomar, or cinch it up like Whit Blanton said. Just cinch it
Yeah,
up.
cinch it up. I like that. I'm
Scott
going to
Fell
use
said
that.
you might as well just move your chair underneath the
I
camera over
agree.
there. Take all
I
these baits
agree.
with you, and we'll tell you what to hold and when to hold it.
Well, Scott unfortunately ordered some on Tackle Warehouse before you gave the code, so he's going to have to go on our
Oh,
site
no.
and use the code too. So
Well, yeah, he could still get him a few more. You can never have too many.
Yeah.
You got to have every size. I can go ahead and tell you that, because the one day that you don't, and they're in that weird spot, and they're moving like they're 7 foot deep over 20 foot of water, and then they're 15 foot deep over 40 foot of water, you're gonna wish you had like a 5/8, a 3/8, a quarter, and a 1 ounce. But somebody asked, Daryl Wilson asked, can you fish it in multiple different ways? And we've discussed
A bunch of ways.
4 or 5 different ways. If you missed the first part of the show, Daryl, you can watch it back over when we're done tonight. But I mean, we've talked about from 1 foot out to 30 foot.
Right.
We've talked about 4 or 5 different types of retrieves,
Yep.
4 or 5 different applications. What are we missing here? We talked about the shallow deal. We talked about fickle schooling fish. We talked about fishing over brush piles. Brian talked about crawling it on the bottom. What are we missing here? We're covering it pretty good.
Yep. One thing we haven't talked about is the 1 ounce version, and fish are used to, they get conditioned to baits, and every fish in the country's probably seen a jerky jay on a scrounger now. But
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed, and I've caught a lot of fish in Tennessee this summer on specifically Douglas and Cherokee with that 1 ounce model is kind of scaling down the bait. I've had a lot of success with a Zoom, a 5-inch boot tail fluke.
Okay, so you're using the boot tail
On the big one,
Okay.
yeah. Just changing it up, trying something different. And I've caught a lot of fish on that combo this summer doing that. So that works really well too.
And this design of the pulse fish is one you can play with your favorite soft plastic. I mean, really the options are endless. You could probably put a crawfish on it and crawl the 1 ounce on the bottom like a biffle head and get bit on it if you would,
Absolutely.
put some effort into trying it. I mean, really the options are endless with what you can and can't do with it.
Ryan's got a good point there. Skip that thing up under a dock, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
that's another thing that those dock fish may not see on a regular basis, and you definitely. I mean, there's been times when I could flip a jig or throw a shaky head under a dock, or even a wacky worm with a little nail weight in it or something, and not get a bite, and then I throw a swim bait up under there and catch every single one of them.
Kevin's got a good question. Can you trim it so it swims to one side?
Well,
Like frog legs?
they're they're picking on us. So
No, I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
know
a
that.
viable question.
So is it
you think that? I mean,
trimmed frog skirts or untrimmed?
well, it depends on if it's the first time you ever tried.
It
to hook
makes
one or
no
not.
difference.
We won't even get started there.
Exactly.
We won't even.
No,
dive into
this
that
comes
pot.
up about every 3 or 4 shows.
It does.
But I did ask you. I said, have you played around with the bill, trimming it around, seeing if it, if you make it shorter, does it rise up, or does it stay down easier, or vice versa, or whatever? Have you played around with trimming these bills, or they pretty much do everything you want them to do right out of the
They
pack?
do everything we want them to do right out of the pack. These bills are what's called mic'd. They're mic'd at a certain thickness.
Okay.
And that thickness for the sizes is what we've tested and done is the best that we can get it and you don't have to trim the bill, you don't have to do anything like that. And kind of to touch back on the Made in the USA and our focus on quality, one of the big features of this bait is the bill doesn't yellow near as fast as our competitors on the markets do. Takes a lot longer time for that bill to start turning yellow. And just to
That's
give
a big deal for me
is.
mentally, because when I see something that changes colors, I just don't like it.
I throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
So, one roll of that bill material that we use costs $900. So we have a
It's high quality stuff.
huge focus on quality. We're building a quality product that'll last you guys a long time and catch a lot of fish on it too.
I saw let's see. Oh, Brian said he throws that style bait all the time. He's currently on that pattern right now.
Oh, there you go.
So, Drew, if you miss that paddle tail on swim bait or scrounger head, we kind of addressed that earlier when we switched to more of the fluke style baits or more of the paddle tail style baits, or boot tails like some people call them.
Bryant Clary has a good question or a statement. They'll make good striper baits.
No doubt.
Oh, I bet
They,
so.
100%.
Stripers kill this bait.
Pretty much anything that eats a shad's going to bite that.
Exactly. I mean, I got buddies that wade the rivers up in Virginia and Tennessee, throwing that 1/8 ounce catching smallmouth in the rivers too. I mean, it's functional anywhere.
I got a lot of buddies that kayak fish and wade rivers, and I haven't even. I mean, I've turned them on to lots of little jig head worms, Ned rigs, and things like that, and they crush the smallmouth in the rivers on stuff like that, little square bills. But I have not turned them on to this like a little 1/8 ounce pulse jig. I can imagine what that could do to a smallmouth in the broad over here near the house or something. But Joe Johnson asked, what size P-line tactical do we use? We talked about it a little bit earlier. On the smaller stuff, it's usually 6 or 8 pound tactical. I like the Flora Clear for some applications with that little bitty one, but the bigger stuff, it's anywhere from 10. I don't go any bigger than 12 on these style baits. Do you, Brian? I mean, if I go to a 1 ounce,
yeah, if
might
I go to
15.
a heavier size, but pretty much when I'm trying to control my depth, this 10 to 12 pound tactical is what I'm gonna be throwing. Like the quarter, the 3/8, and that type stuff. Even possibly the 5/8 if I'm wanting to keep it down. 25, 30 feet, I'll throw it on 12. But yeah.
Stephen Guthrie said they even work on Lake. Tell me if I butchered this.
Alatoona.
Okay, Alatoona in
Yeah,
Northwest
if
Georgia.
they'll catch them on the Dead Sea at Altoona, they'll catch them anywhere.
We have caught them on these style baits all over the country, man. I mean, it's like Brian said, if they eat a shad or any type of bait fish, alewife or herring or whatever it may be, they'll bite the pulse jig, I can promise you. And very versatile bait. I think a lot of people they may not have been aware how versatile this bait really is until we got on and talked about it tonight. But Mark Harmon wanted to know if you sell replacement bills. That's a good question, but very rarely do you have one tear up, right?
Yeah, they don't tear up, and the way we have a proprietary way that we put these bills on. So the piece of equipment was made specifically for doing it this way, and the part was CNC'd.
That is pretty neat.
How it's put on. So we don't really sell a replacement bill because you can't get the bill off.
No, the way it's on here, you can. I don't want to go back to the camera again because Matt's going to make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I love it. I think it's awesome.
All right,
And another
back
cool
to the
thing,
camera.
this bait won't
All right,
roll
talk
either.
about it.
So you want to hold it while he explains it, since they can't hear you when you're not on the mic over there. So you hold it up and let Todd kind of explain why you can't really replace that bill.
Yeah, so the way it's pressed on, there's a little ring underneath there, on the neck of the bait down there, and then that is pressed on, and it presses that bait in, and you'll see the little cup behind the head. The little cup is what gives the bait the action and the vibration. So it's a pretty neat way we put those on.
Brian, your rotation is spot on. Your rotation is spot on.
Add that to my resume. Hand model.
And we do want to give a quick shout out, Southwest Louisiana. Y'all are in our prayers tonight. Don't think you aren't. I saw somebody made a comment earlier. We know there's a lot of damage down there from the hurricane, and also I've got to give a shout out to to Mr. Guck, a buddy of mine that I do a lot of work with. A lot of people in the industry know Alan McGuckin, nicknamed Guck, is what we all call him in the industry. But it's his 50th birthday today, and I gotta wish him a happy 50th.
I put that on my
hand
resume.
Model?
Yeah.
Let me see your hand.
It's
You ain't got no
glorious.
fingernails. How you gonna be a hand model?
You don't have to have fingernails. Do you? I mean,
Well,
I got them.
I
They
mean-
ain't like long and glorious, but they're there.
Apparently, Cameron, you could put a flatworm on one of these and catch them.
We'll,
Sturgeon Bay.
we'll give Jeff.
That was a good comment. I like
Yeah, I
that.
like
We'll
that.
get Jeff to give you a pedicure before the next show, and you can. What'd you say?
That's awesome.
He said he got you. He got you. All right. So what else? What else about the pulse jig that people? Man, we've spilled a lot of secrets tonight.
We have.
And but what else about the pulse jig? I know this bait has done. And Todd, look, Todd is one of the owners with Pulse Fish Lures, but Todd is a very accomplished angler. Actually qualified for the All American coming up in 2021. Do we know where that's going to
Thanks
be?
in part.
It's in
to-
November this year. It's the 2020. It's on Hartwell.
It's the 2020.
All-American.
So because of the COVID stuff,
Yeah.
excuse my ignorance, but that is the 2020 All-American that was supposed to be in May.
Yeah, it is
Right, and it is where?
on Hartwell.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Todd's over here licking his lips. I didn't even realize it was on Hartwell.
Well, it's probably. I mean, and I don't know if Rampy's watching or not. He's a good friend of mine. It's got a really good chance to be the Jamie Rampy show, but I'm going to do my best to keep him honest. And this bait right here is going to be on the deck and be a key player because
we got a lot of local sticks are going to be in that.
Oh,
All-American.
gosh.
Todd, Rampy, Brian News
Brian
in
New.
it.
Yep. I got a lot of buddies from Missouri that's in
Yeah.
it too. Dennis Burhorst.
News in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Scott, Roger Fitzpatrick's
We
in
won't
it.
get News. Got to buy his pulse jigs. Don't give him any pulse jigs.
Yeah.
He can get a 20%.
He can
off.
get a 20% discount.
Yeah, we give him
That's all he's
20%.
getting. Yeah, I didn't see him on. He may not be
Ryan asked, has Jeff signed up for the tournament yet? Yes, Jeff actually signed up for the Lake Norman Toyota Series event today.
He is
He
in,
signed up today. He is in.
and you're going to let him practice with you. Correct?
He's going to practice with me. We'll get him lined up with tackle, pulse jigs, probably.
the 1/8 ounce.
So
version.
what was you
8
wanted?
ounce
So
version.
you wanted to give some more goods. This is a perfect segue with Jeff fishing that event as a co-angler.
Yes.
This bait will make a boater in the front of the boat more mad as a co-angler because you will catch so many fish behind your boater, especially with an 1/8 ounce. And my partner Jeremy a couple years ago was fishing a Costa at Table Rock, and he just flat smashed them behind his boaters each day on that bait. And the last cast, he caught a 4.5 pounder on the second day. So he was in third in Angler of the Year going into the last event. And caught most of the fish he weighed in that season on a pulse jig. So it's a great bait to throw behind your boater too, and just to get bites.
Yeah, that. And that's a good point too. Stephen Guthrie earlier, he said the 1/8 ounce. The 1/8 ounce, like Brian said, again, any species. This thing does not discriminate on species either. I'm talking about white bass, crappie, not crappie, crappie.
Oh, yeah, Brad-
stripers, spotted
about
bass,
that.
smallmouth, largemouth. You name it. I mean,
Yeah.
warmouth, bluegill,
Walleye.
shell crackers, walleye. Sturgeon eat it.
I don't know.
You sound like Bill Dance. Does he not sound like Bill Dance right now?
Bill dance.
You kind of sound like Bill Dance.
sound
just-
like him, or just like what I was saying, like the content.
Kind of both.
Yeah, right. I don't sound like Bill. Well, maybe I need to go on the
While we're
television.
congratulating guys too, big congratulations to Rusty Slowiski. I think that's how I've
You
known
just
him
butchered
for a
the poor
while.
man's
But
last name.
yeah,
Absolutely.
actually,
butchered
the very first tournament I ever won on the FLW tour at Lake Norman, Rusty finished second to me in that event. He just won the FLW title last week up at Sturgeon Bay, so congratulations to him. That was awesome. I spent a lot of time watching the live for 6 days there. Didn't get much done, but congratulations, Rusty.
Brant Kessler, he said, yeah, congrats, Rusty. We were talking about you earlier, man. I remember Rusty from when I first started fishing FLW back as a co-angler in 05, 06, and good dude. I never got the pleasure of really getting to know Rusty, but the few times I'd spoke to him, he's just
Super
very
nice
humble,
guy.
super nice, and a heck of a fisherman that just never got that one big break, and now he's got it, and couldn't be happier for him. But
Yeah, always consistent. Like always done great
always
in
done
events.
good. Yeah, always done
But-
good.
Finally got that big breakthrough win. That's huge right there. That's awesome.
Brent said they're only crappy when you're not catching them. All right, Drew Goolsby, good question here. He said, "Who wants who all carries Pulse? He hasn't seen them in stores. Well, right now, best bet is to go direct to the website and use LTF20 to get your 20% discount. But in case they don't get an opportunity to do that in the next month, where else can they purchase Pulse jigs?
Well, the brand's growing. We're in a lot of tackle retailers. We do work with Pittman Creek distributor, the wholesaler. So, your favorite tackle shop that you go to, if they buy from Pittman Creek, they can get them in. So,
which most all the mom and pops deal with Pittman Creek somewhat. Drew, send us a reply on here where you're located too. See if we can get you dialed in a little bit more if you can't order them direct on the website.
Yep.
Tell us where you're located. We'll be looking for that comment. I did see a comment earlier I wanted to address. Scott Peavy said, have we ever thrown them around cypress trees? I have not.
I haven't.
Thrown everything else around cypress trees. I don't know why I hadn't tried the Pulse jig. Kind of like throwing it at a shallow,
I had never tried to
a shallow bass. But,
I don't get to fish a lot of cypress trees though.
I'll be around a few in a couple
once
weeks.
every 3-4
Just to
years.
go back to, we also
y'all are going to Santee. You'll have to let us know how this works.
Our baits are on Tackle Warehouse too, but they only carry our 2-pack without bait, so you got to purchase the bait separate.
Now, do they carry your baits too? Or?
They do not for some reason. Yeah, we tried to get them to do that.
That is but there again, if you're going to purchase them online, you need to go and use that code and go direct to the website.
Absolutely.
That way, make sure you get that 20%. All right, let's see. He's in Springville, Alabama. So thank you. Does Mark's Outdoors down there carry him? Mark's is a big one down in Alabama.
Is that close to Springville?
I don't know.
I don't know if they
Alabama's pretty big.
It's decent sized. Springville sounds familiar to me. Why does Springville sound so familiar? Where is Springville, Alabama?
Let me get the.
Do you know any of the retailers you're in Alabama by chance?
I don't.
Is that listed on y'all's website?
It is not.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to find out for you, Drew. But like I said, man, you really need to order direct from them
and get the discount
and make sure you get that discount LTF20. Don't forget that code. It'll be on our Facebook page for anybody that's just joined as of late. We announced earlier that we've obviously come in.
Yeah, Springville's not far from Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good.
What'd you do? Just look on the map?
Well, yeah, I just pulled it up.
Googling.
I wanted to know.
Google mapping it.
That was quick to do that too.
LTF's entered into a partnership with Pulse Fish, the Pulse Jig, which has been a tool in our arsenal for a while. It's won all of us a bunch of money, and it's an awesome bait, awesome technique that does work 12 months out of the year. And if you're just tuning in, Jeff actually dropped it on our Facebook page, the code LTF20 and the link to the website where you can get your discount and purchase all the Pulse jigs. And y'all have everything in stock right now, right?
Yeah, we have everything available for
all
order.
The sizes, all the baits, everything.
All the colors, all the sizes. Yep.
Good. Scottsboro Tackle. Not sure. And GTO Gunnersville Tackle Company. I think GTC.
That's Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know. I'm not a gamer.
I'm not either.
It might be. Jeff Davis, that code is LTF20. In case you missed it, it's LTF20. It's back on the feed, and it's also posted on our Facebook page along with the link. So
Drew says Springville is home of the great Wes Logan.
Oh, that's why I know. Wes is my new roommate this year on the Elite Series. No wonder I've heard of Springville. I'm kind of embarrassed now. Sorry, Wes.
Wes likes my steak and crawfish too.
Wes likes your steak. I like that.
Yeah, I do as well. We're going to have some at the Pittman Creek show this year.
Yeah. Are you coming to Pittman Creek, Matt?
When is Pittman Creek?
October 10th.
I don't think. No, I'm fishing.
You'll be gone.
Yeah, we got
back Lake Fork. Is that when you're?
I don't know. I'll be at somewhere.
Santee
or Chick, one of those two. Yeah, I'm not sure which.
Where are y'all going to Gunnersville?
Gunnersville, we leave the 26th of September, fish it like October 1st through 4th or something like that.
All right.
Well, we'll send you a pic of the crawfish etouffee we're about to
I appreciate that. Just like all my buddies.
On top of a great old big giant steak.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
And then my other buddies are going to be sending me pictures of giant bucks. Y'all going to kill me. You know that? Like while I'm fishing these tournaments in October, y'all are eating and partying and playing cards. Do y'all get into big Pittman Creek poker game?
We're trying to make money.
I haven't. We're going to probably fish in the tournament.
You get in it, bro. You are.
I don't know if they're going to have that this year with COVID.
I appreciate
with COVID and the way things have gone this year. I don't know if they're going to have a lot of
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have it tightened up pretty good there. I'm sure everybody is though, which is understandable. GTA smoke. GTA. What's GTA? Oh, Grand Theft Auto. GTA.
I have asked Pittman Creek for a list of shops that we're in, so I can get you that update.
That'd be a good idea. Just to
Yeah.
maybe post it on social media. We can get it out there on social media for everybody in case they're close to a store that's got it. Everybody likes to support their hometown business, and if they got an opportunity to swing by the shop, pick up a few pulse jigs, and
Larry says put some in at Sugar Creek on Oconee. I've actually tried to do that, and why don't you help me do that?
There you go.
When you're in sales, you get told no every day. So that was one of the times I got told no. So.
That's right. That's right.
So it's all good.
Bryant Clary said
one sure way to get them in your local tackle store is go in there and ask for them. If you go in there and ask for them enough, they're going to call and order them, and they're going to start stocking them.
And you can find all your contact information on your website, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the contact information is there.
Yep.
So any stores that don't carry them locally, I'm telling you, and guys, this, I know there's a lot of things out there and everybody, but I've already seen the proofs in the pudding. Not just us catching fish with these baits, but guys have commented all night like, "Thanks a lot for letting that cat out of the bag," and man, you sure have told the goods tonight. And man, these things do work. And then other people are chiming in and say, "Well, I catch a lot of stripers on those. Man, they're awfully good for crappie too, and white bass, and smallmouth, and spotted bass." So, guys, it's a deal that works. I mean, it's tried and true, and it's a good quality bait, made in the USA, and it's backed by good people like Todd. And we've known Todd for years. Brian and I both have, and Todd's he's a good old boy and a dang good fisherman too. And I hope you go down there and mop the floor with New's little butt and that All American, because we'll be pulling for you. New's won enough.
Are y'all gonna place bets whether I beat New or not on that?
we might. I mean, anything.
Hang on, I got to talk to New after practice.
How's that going to help you?
No, there's
I have inside information.
Hey, it's going to be the same old, same old. He's just like a thrift. He ain't had a bite in practice.
But
man,
I can
don't know if I
decipher
catch
it.
him. Oh, you can. Oh,
Yeah, I
okay, you
trained
can
him.
dissect him.
I trained him. I can decipher.
I believe that 100%. Somebody the other day was asking me, talking about New, and this ain't a crack on New, and I told him exactly what you just said. It's so funny because, like, man, New is. I was bragging on him how good a fisherman New is, and how he's come such a long way in the past, 7, 8, 9 years. Well, we've known him longer than that, 12 or 13 years. But, so yeah, but he's so hard to. You just don't know when he's going to catch them because he never says he never says he's on them. And I said that's because he was trained by Thrift.
No, it's not.
Because Thrift knows when he's going to catch them, but
No, I do not.
He will never tell you when he's going to catch them.
I do not know. And this is something
You have ideas that you have confidence in.
I have ideas that there's a chance possible. But you got to look at it this way. And this is, me and New talk about this a lot because we both fish the same way. But I think it comes down to what some people get excited about doesn't excite me in practice. Like the first day of practice, when you've got 200 boats on the water and you go down the bank and you get 10 bites on a buzzbait,
well, yeah, that
people
means
think
nothing.
that's good.
Then that means nothing.
Yeah.
By the time the first day of the tournament rolls around, that's no good.
That's gone.
No good at all. Because those 10 bites are going to turn into 2 bites and one of them's going to miss it.
Well, that's a great point you make because,
And I think that's the difference between me and New is we kind of got an idea of what's, going to continue through the tournament and how things are going to change.
Well, that's
But here's go ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say that's a really good point because how many of you guys have went to practice for an event and by the time the tournament starts, it's gone away? I mean, most of the time the stuff goes away before the tournament starts. That bait right there is one bait a lot of times that will hold up and be consistent through a tournament when something else goes away. I made the All-American on this bait. If I hadn't had it on the deck, I wouldn't be in this tournament. It helped me catch the second biggest bag the second day of the regional, 14 something, and I tied for 6th the last day. In the top 6 get into the All-American, and I tied with Conrad Bolt. And because I caught the heaviest string, I won on the tiebreaker with the heaviest string.
Heaviest bag wins.
And that bait is the reason I'm in the All-American this year. So
That's pretty good.
But yeah, I was kidding with New, and I said, well, my advice to him was, which you're old and you're past advice, and you don't heed to nothing anymore. But
I'm always learning.
I said,
back.
look,
I'll take advice with the best of
when
them.
he's fishing the Elite Series next year, or which I feel like he will be. I'm confident in him. He won't tell you he will be, but I feel like he's got a good shot at doing it. And I know if he qualifies, he told me he will. So, when they come up and they want to give a pre-tournament interview, I said you got to give them something. I said you got to be you don't have to say I'm on them and I'm going to whack them and I had 10 bites on top water first day of practice. But the more you break it down and the more information you can put out there, the more people will kind of get drawn to your brand, get drawn to you as an angler, and get drawn to Bryan New and start under. But if you go out there every time and they stick a camera in your face, and say, well, what do you think about practice? You say, well, it sucked. I didn't get a bite. I probably ain't gonna catch him in the tournament. Then you win the tournament. Then you just look like an idiot.
No, you don't.
Or a butthead, one of the two.
Nah,
disagree. But then you build a reputation like Thrift over here, who ain't never had a bite in practice and won 72 tournaments. So, sorry, I had to throw that out there. But no, in all honesty, though.
But see, the thing is,
he's got to defend himself.
I got to defend myself.
So what happened was.
So what you're saying is true to an extent.
Got him going, Tom.
But
Got him
Here we
going.
go.
He's fired
If you
up
ever
now.
ask me, and I say I'm on them, are you just going to go to the house because it's over?
Now, in all honesty, I've told a couple people before because I have talked to Thrift, and I'll give you just a teeny bit of credit here, not much. Don't get too excited. That because this is the funny part. I fished enough team tournaments with you here locally that where he's like, we need to fish Thursday night. I'm like, why do you think that? He's like, because we're getting ready to crush them. So true or false?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, but I have talked to you in tour level events when we're fishing against each other before, and most of the time it's the same old story. But every once in a while you're like, well, I got 3 bites yesterday. And when he says 3 bites, I'm like, excuse my French, oh hell. 'Cause I'd have thought about taking it to the house.
It's not that bad.
1 bite is the norm. 3 bites, you might be in trouble.
So my wife will attest to this. She's watching too. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
I'm either.
What's her name?
Samantha.
Sorry, hey, Samantha, sorry.
It's hey, baby.
I just thought her name was Baby for a
It's,
minute. there, so.
She'll laugh at this because in practice, sometimes it comes together, and then of course in a tournament it never works out the way you want it to most of the time. And I always say, well, they were biting funny. So that's her and I's tagline. If I don't do well in a tournament, she always says they're biting funny today, weren't they? So
Biting funny.
Yeah.
They just weren't. That is the most common excuse on stage nowadays. It seems like it's like they just wouldn't eat the bait all the way, or
Yeah.
they were biting it funny, and I'm like,
See, I fell.
translate that for me, Thrift.
I fell on to I was fishing better than they were biting. So that's the go-to.
Wait, you've actually said that on stage?
No.
Okay.
Me and a buddy have been talking about
fishing
this
better
for a
than they
couple
were. I
months.
might have to steal
so
that.
you
we-
always fish better.
They're
than
not
biting.
biting. I'm fishing better than they're biting.
Old buddy Roger Metz is on here. Hey Roger.
Hey, Roger.
He had a funny comment, and this is so true. And you don't remember this because you couldn't hear me, but he said, Matt, remember when we pulled up alongside Thrift?
Oh, I read that a minute
at
ago.
Portman Shoals. We were practicing for an FLW tour event at Hartwell. Roger was in the boat with me. You know Roger.
Oh
don't you?
yeah, I know
Okay.
Roger.
And
Neil Paul, all them guys.
and he was in the boat with me, and he'd gone out practicing with me, and knew had been practicing with Thrift. And he said, you asked Thrift if he found anything, and he mumbled something, and he said, you poked me, and he said, watch this. He said, I'm going to ask New the same question. And asked New the same question, and he mumbled the exact same thing. I said, you pulled off and said Thrift had already corrupted New, and I bet New's tighter than Thrift now. They're equally as tight. But yeah, no, it is funny.
But see,
that Roger
the
remembers
reason
that.
behind that is there's no
He still defended
there's no
himself.
guarantees in fishing.
There's no-
Like I'll give you a good example of this.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
The tournament we were at Falcon Lake in 2008, and everybody knows back then Falcon was just ridiculous, like giant bags everywhere. I remember the first day of the tournament, David Fritz weighed in 38 pounds. And he was, I don't remember if he was leading, he was top 2 or 3. But he got on stage and said, that's going to, like, everybody was cheering for him. He said, well, that's going to be the smallest limit I weigh all week. And then he proceeded to not break like 23 pounds the next 2 days in a row.
That's a kiss of death when you do that.
Yeah, it's a kiss of death. Anytime you think you're on them, they'll prove real quick you're not on them.
That's like on Bass Track saying you got 45 pounds and you got 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Reed Finley said Nick LeBrun tied for 6th the year he won the All-American.
That might be a good
Ooh,
omen.
that's a good sign, Todd.
Nick's a good friend of mine. We talked about that already.
That
so
might be a good omen.
Yeah, I said I hope I have the same juju you have that week.
That's probably the first time that's happened, and if you do it, you know that there's going to be a trend there.
No,
Everybody's going to be
yeah.
trying to tie for
Tie
6.
for 6. The tie for 6 curse or blessing.
Let's see. I saw a question. Greg Leica, he's already ordered some pulse jigs. Thanks, Greg, for the support, and hope you used your code, the LTF20 code.
There's been about 7 orders come through on my phone while we've been here from web orders. So thank you guys very much. We appreciate it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. We're sitting right at an hour here. I see we got we're around 155 viewers right now. The Pulse. Jeff, are we sharing on other pages? Do I need to make that announcement about the giveaway?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. So this show is cross-posted on about 5 other pages. I believe my page, Topwater Blow-Ups, Brian's page. What other pages, Jeff? Bass Casters, Titan Tungsten's page. So if you're watching on those pages, number one, I'm sorry I didn't say this earlier in the show. I normally say it early in the show.
Well, we've been saying it for a couple of weeks.
Well,
now.
yeah, but I mean, we have new viewers on those
This is
pages
true.
every week too. So if you want to interact with us, guys, make sure you're always on the Let's Talk Fish Facebook page so we can see your comments and address them. We try to get to as many as we can in the show. But the giveaway, the most important thing at the end of the show, we have a trivia question. We do a giveaway every week. Sponsored by Pulse Fish this week. Got over $150 in Pulse Fish goodies. T-shirt, hat, decals, all the Pulse jigs, different sizes, the baits, all the goodies. So if you want to be eligible for that giveaway and you're watching on another page right now, jump over to the Let's Talk Fish Facebook page. Going to give you just a minute to hop over to be eligible for this giveaway. If you're the first one to answer the trivia question correctly, all this in front of us will be shipped directly to your doorstep. So, all right.
We even got a comment from the Pulse Jig page saying those orders are getting filled already.
All right.
That's on top of things.
Now that's customer service.
Yeah.
You're here. It's what 8:30 at night or something.
Yeah.
And over at the headquarters, they are.
We got boxes getting packed.
Got boxes getting packed. So that's.
Well, that's one thing, and that's interesting. With COVID, a lot of tackle shops are having a hard time getting product, and we take a lot of pride in getting orders out the next day. And I mean, we've gotten a lot of orders from Pittman Creek in the last 6 months, and they go out the next day. So they get our product. So it's been a great time for us to get our baits in new shops with all the new dealers they've brought on, and for them to have a product that they can get really quick and introduce it to a shop. So
Yeah.
it's good to be able to fill that void and get them baits when other companies can't get them baits.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Absolutely. All right, it's funny. We always get some early trivia answers, even though we haven't actually issued a trivia question. The answer is fish. Roland
Fish.
Dance, 1971. That's a good one, Scott. And
Blanton's.
that's real quick. I know we're out of time, but real quick, Jimmy Durham. Thank you for bringing that up.
That's a good point.
This is it's kind of like the bladed jig deal, the chatterbaits and things like that. But this pulse jig, saltwater species, inshore saltwater species, flounder, redfish, trout. Have you had experience with that? Or I'm sure you got buddies, but that
I think
catch 'em on
Jeff's
it.
going.
I haven't, but
Redfish
I've
this
had
week.
buddies that catches trout on them.
Okay.
And some redfish too.
So Jimmy, what as far as a saltwater color, your go-to? Jeff, you're the redfish guy.
Yeah.
Which one of these colors would be your go-to size and
This one.
colors?
The chartreuse one for
This
sure.
one right here.
Okay.
That's redfish magic right there.
Yeah.
Something like that might be pretty good.
The smoky shad.
It just
Yeah.
depends, something like that or the
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just picked them all. Shows how much you know.
three.
Right there.
Start with.
Okay.
So
But as far as the trout, we know the chartreuse. They like the chartreuse. The speckled trout do too. Yeah, Jeff pretty much just picked up. Why did I even ask Jeff?
Yeah, they bite that,
So-
this.
How many colors do you have?
53. No,
I picked up 3.
no,
He's got 6.
no. We
He
have
picked
6.
up 5.
We have 6. Yeah.
50%, that's
Hey,
pretty good.
Sometimes I fish better than the fish are biting.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tell him, Jeff.
You were
Tell 'em.
listening to the show, weren't you?
So I want to get this in before we say goodnight.
Yes, sir.
We're always innovating too, and we're coming up with new products and working on things to add to the Pulse Fish lineup. One of the things we're doing is we're going to take this head and we're actually going to put a wire keeper on it and make a swim bait head out of it. That's going to be coming out later this fall. That guppy style head works really well to put a swim bait on. So look for that in the near future too, guys, and we'll have an announcement when that comes out.
Okay, very
Very
cool.
neat.
Very cool. Well, Todd, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh,
And
appreciate
we
it.
are very, very excited.
Very informative.
Very excited about the partnership. Anybody, the cool thing about this show is it'll be available on iTunes. It'll be available on YouTube. It'll be all the podcast platforms. It'll be on our Facebook page, of course. So if you want to learn about the Pulse Jig, different ways to fish it, different ways to rig it, our setups for it, you can always go back on YouTube and watch this episode. Jeff, did we get last week's up on YouTube? We had somebody ask about that also. Okay, so last
It's
week's
there.
episode is back up on YouTube. We had a little slight delay there, but everything's good to go now. And this one will be up soon on YouTube too. You can follow up and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We never really mentioned we have a YouTube, but that's where all our shows are archived.
I didn't
so
know it.
Thrift said he didn't even know we had
I
a
didn't
YouTube
know
channel,
it.
which that doesn't surprise me. But a lot of people like to listen to us when they're driving in their vehicles and things like that. But YouTube, you get that visual. When Brian's up there being the hand model that he is, and he's showing you all these baits.
Excellent hand model.
Excellent hand model that he is. He's showing you the baits like he did tonight. You can really see what we're talking about and break it down a little bit easier. But thanks again, Todd. Very
Thank
excited
you.
about the partnership.
Us too.
And we're going to go grab some grub. Oh, wait. We got
Gotta do the trivia.
question.
Yeah,
We got to give this stuff away.
That's the first time I've ever done that. I tried to sign off
But-
before.
Pull the
At
reins
least
on your
you didn't
ADD
give
for a
the
minute,
answer
man.
away.
I didn't
He's
give
trying
the
to keep
answer
the
away.
baits and. So,
All right, trivia question time. And as you heard earlier in the show, we're giving away all this in front of us, over $150 in Pulse Jigs, baits, T-shirt, hat, decals, all kinds of goodies, compliments.
all different weights, all different colors.
That's
Yep.
right.
The
Basically
whole
everything
spectrum.
you need to get started with your Pulse Jig whacking and stacking. Todd has qualified for the All-American that we mentioned earlier. He qualified by fishing a regional at Hartwell
Last October.
and 3-day tournament, caught 15 fish. The Pulse Jig was a big player for him in that tournament. We want to know, first person to come across the feed and answers correctly. Are you in here to appoint the winner? We can handle it. We can handle it. We got it.
That's all good.
Yep, I'm just going to sit back and watch.
So, Todd, 3-day tournament in the regional that he qualified for the All-American at Lake Hartwell, weighed in 15 bass, 5 fish a day. Obviously, he mentioned the Pulse Jig was a big player. We need to know exactly how many bass of those 15 that he weighed in were caught on the Pulse Jig, exclusively on the Pulse Jig. So how many of the 15 fish, not his total weight, I might see they
jumping the
I love
gun.
it.
They're jumping
They're
it.
throwing out weights and all kinds of stuff. You can't find this online. You can't Google this. We're working on coming up with more trivia questions where y'all can't Google the answers so quickly.
Yeah.
How many of the 15 fish? All right, I'm getting 37, 38. Guys, how many of the 15
I think they're still
fish?
guessing. We got a delay.
Okay, now that's a legitimate
Now
answer.
it's coming.
Greg said 11. That's not right, but he said 11. Brian, you and I will go after the first one. You let us know what comes across your feed too, the
I think
quickest.
mine's dragging too.
All right, I see a winner. Let me know when y'all see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, if you've seen it, call it.
If you see it.
No, wait a minute. Tell me the answer. Well, wait a minute. Write down the answer again.
I
Make sure.
thought you knew the answer.
Can you
Okay,
see
I'm
it?
about to make an account.
Are you kidding me?
We have an answer.
Your ADD, your ADD's off the chart right now.
Jessica Wilkins Malam. I hope I said that. Malam. I hope I said that correctly, Jessica. I apologize if I butchered your last name, but Jessica is correct in 7. It was 7 of the 15 bass that he caught exclusively on the Pulse Jig to qualify for the All-American this year, and And so, Jessica, we need you to send us a message with your shipping information so we can get this awesome prize package shipped out to your doorstep.
Congratulations.
Yep, congrats to
Congrats.
Jessica. And I tell you what, Jessica, send us a picture of the first fish that you catch with this pulse jig hanging out of its mouth, and we'll post it on the LTF page. And
Hey,
the
that's a
Instagram
good
page.
idea.
Yeah.
I'm good for something every
Good
once in a while.
job, Matt.
And
That's-
we'll get Todd and them over there at the Pulse Facebook page to post it on their page also.
Absolutely.
I'm sure y'all wouldn't mind doing
Absolutely.
that, right? Do y'all have people send in pics?
We do.
Just random pics
Yeah,
of
we
fish
post them
caught?
too. I mean, there was a guy that caught a 8.5-pound largemouth on Joe Cassie on it earlier this
Ooh, wow.
spring.
That's
I
a
mean,
big one.
monster. So we get a lot of those pictures and we put them out there. I mean, if our Facebook page is the Pulse Jig, and our Instagram is Pulse Fish Lures. So you can get
Okay, so it's
yes,
two different handles.
two different
the
handles.
Pulse Jig on Facebook,
Mhm.
Pulse Fish Lures at Pulse Fish Lures on Instagram.
Mhm.
All right,
Yep.
cool. So y'all be sure to follow them on social
Yep,
media.
and remember to go to is it the website Pulse Jig,
website's pulsefishlures.com.
pulsefishlures.com, LTF20 when you check out. Get your discount 20% off all the way through the month of September.
All right, so I already see a comment from somebody that said look for an earlier 7. We always say it, guys and gals. We can only see what comes through our feed first.
Matt determines the winner.
Yeah, well, blame it on. Well, normally it's Jeff's fault, but tonight it's my fault. But the first one that came across
Good job,
our feed
Jeff.
was Jessica Wilkins Malam. And Jessica, congrats again. Make sure you send us a message on Facebook with your shipping address so we can get this package sent out to you. All right, anything else? Am I missing anything? Jeff, you got anything to add?
What about next week?
I'm going to be,
Are you here?
nope, I'll be gone. I'm not even going to say what I'm going to be doing because I'm not allowed to talk about it.
He's going to be
Not going to be deer hunting.
no, he's not going to be deer hunting. He's
I'll be-
not going to be in Kentucky with Canterbury.
I'll be deer hunting in Kentucky with Canterbury, and I won't be back. And my best friend Shuford, and Brad Knight, and Barry Isbell. We got a good crew going. We're gonna go chase some velvet bucks opening week in Kentucky, and then I'll be back. But then I will be here for the Tuesday after the next.
All right. So
Are you good for that one?
Yep, I'm good for
So
that.
that's like the 15th or something, I think.
Yep.
All right. So the 15th will be our next show, y'all. And
Possibly. Jeff, will
actually-
you be here next week?
hey,
Waiting on you to ask.
We-
Yes, I'm over here.
well now wait a
We-
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
We
minute.
may or may
What-
not have a show next week.
Wait. Whoa, whoa,
Depends
whoa,
on how me and Jeff feel.
What's the significance of our next show? Does anybody know? Thrift or Walsh?
It's
No, wait. Let's let Thrift try to figure it out.
Oh, it's the
Since-
100th episode.
Shut
So I
the
need to do
front
that by
door.
myself for sure. Me and Jeff can nail that. We can nail the 100th episode,
All right.
Jeff.
Well,
No, we can't do that.
we got.
We're going to need 2 weeks to prepare for the 100th episode.
We're going to come up with something special.
so you're gonna allow me in?
Yeah, so
Okay.
we can't do the 100th episode without the full crew here.
So while I'm gone in Kentucky, would y'all do me a favor and prep something special for the 100th show?
Yes,
I
of
don't know when
course,
to get
of
back.
Fish
we
and
got-
trips with you playing.
yeah, I mean, we've gave away
got-
3 trips with Matt.
Running
Yeah.
away after the season.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Matt or
wonderful.
me and Matt.
no, just Matt.
Yeah, you see how he jumped at that pretty quick.
Yeah.
He corrected you very quickly.
Yeah.
So our next episode is our 100th episode. If y'all did not hear that, so we will have something special planned. We don't know what it will be yet. Obviously, Brian and Jeff.
Somebody said you should do
We're
a
on
2-hour
it.
show.
We're on it. It'll be pretty.
2-hour show.
It'll
for
be
100th
decent.
show.
It'll be
We
decent.
might do it. Who knows? Who knows? We'll. It'll be something special. We'll have a special giveaway planned, and
You can talk.
no doubt.
Well, you can talk for an hour when you get back about all the stories you and
No,
I
no. They don't. They don't let me
We
talk about
banned-
deer hunting on
we
this
banned
show.
and the
deer
poker
hunting.
playing that's going to go on. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't let me talk
Yeah,
deer hunting on this show.
we've banned deer hunting.
But
He can say he killed one, but that's it.
So when did the deer hunting talk stop? Was that when you shot that one off the back?
No.
or when he shot one 17 times in the rear end, or all
This is
kinds
a
of stuff.
fishing show. Like they enjoyed that story because it was funny.
We've got a lot of people that deer hunt on this show, obviously, but
Of
we have a
course.
lot of people that don't particularly care to hear me talk about deer hunting too. So we're just trying to meet y'all's needs. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're
I mean,
But
we can work something in here. And
if
there.
we kill a big one, we'll post a picture of it and talk about it for. Will you give me 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
We'll talk about it a lot if he misses one. I'll give you that. Okay. So if he misses one, we'll
He's not
go
going
in.
to tell
we'll,
you you missed
you
one.
might
we'll go
never-
in depth with
You
it.
might never even know if I miss one.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll ask Scott and Brad. They'll tell me.
How they gonna know? They gonna be in a different stand.
Oh, they'll count. I'll have them counting arrows.
Well, I can put my air and clean it off back in my quiver. I've done that
No,
before.
you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in. Todd, thanks again for being here.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
And,
guys.
And
Special thanks to the pulse fish.
yeah, I already saw a message come across from Jessica sending us our shipping address, so we'll
Good.
get this package out to her. Congrats again.
Yeah.
All our prayers staying with all the people down in Louisiana. I know they're going through a rough time with the hurricane damage, but we were thinking about y'all. David Scruggs said we got to get Todd to sign the wall. You got to sign the wall before we. You got to do it on camera too. Everybody else does it on camera.
Okay.
Might as
So
well.
you
Tell
got
me where you want me to do it at.
Just pick a spot. Wherever you'd
2020
like.
All-American champion. Don't do that. That's like cutting your
Leave
foot
enough
off.
room though, so when
Leave
you come
enough
back,
room where we can
when
come
you come
back
back,
at it,
you
yeah.
can do that.
All right, so guys, thanks for tuning in while Todd's back there doing that. Excited about our partnership with Pulse Fish. Jeff again posted the link and the discount code on our Facebook page directly, so you can go over to our Facebook page and jump on that link. Save yourself 20% on the Pulse jigs. Brian, you want to sign us out?
So 2 weeks from now, 100th episode, something special. Don't know what it is yet. We have Jeff's assurance that it's going to be pretty good.
We might give away Jeff's truck or something. Who knows? and you can have Brian's boat.
Knowing
behind it.
Jeff and the stuff he's gave away on this show, I mean, we gave away cruises. It's probably not out of the question. So
True.
anything's possible on
I
the
forgot about the
100th
cruises
episode.
we gave away.
For
Exactly.
Shario, he never got his cruise because they never gave me another certificate.
Oh no, poor Ryan.
Sorry, Ryan.
Well, you could send him like $6,000 so he could go on a cruise.
Yeah, I was just sitting in my boat and then
A Doohickey Rap Ranger. How about that?
there you go.
All right. Did you officially sign us off?
No, we got sidetracked.
Okay, sorry.
We got
Go ahead.
Guys,
a lot tonight.
thank you for watching. Remember, LTF20 at pulsefish.com. Was that right?
Pulsefishlures.
You can,
Pulse
you
fish
can
lures.
ruin anything.
Well, I've called it a pulse jig for like 6 years.
It is a
and
pulse jig.
It is a
I
just
know,
on the
but it's
website.
pulse fish lures.
Yeah, correct.
So it's confusing a little bit.
I
So
know, I'm just
remember, LTF20 the whole month of September. And remember, guys, if we can't go fishing, we're going to sit right here and do what, Matt?
we're gonna talk fish.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Fish. Visit our private Facebook group to continue the conversation, post your questions, and talk with other fellow anglers at facebook.com/groups/Let's Talk Fish. Follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Fish Official and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exclusive content. Join us again next episode for more actionable tips, tactics, and techniques directly from the pros. And remember, when we can't go fishing, we're going to sit right here and talk fish.